I put together this gaming PC for just under $250. If you're looking to get into PC gaming on a budget, something like this might be right up your alley. It might not look the flashiest, probably not worth bragging to your friends about unless they're weird like me, but that won't matter when you're carrying them to victory in games like Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, and Black Ops 6. And that's not all. Once you start winning some tournaments, this baby's upgradable. Speaking of upgrades, in my previous video we tested out this Ryzen 3 3200G computer to see how well it would game. And today, we're going to be upgrading it. If you want to check out that previous video, I'll leave a link down in the description. As a refresher, I picked this computer up off of one of my local classified sites for $100. It came with everything to get up and running except an SSD. It didn't come with a dedicated GPU though. Instead, it's rocking a Ryzen 3 3200G that includes integrated graphics that can play some games, but it did leave a lot to be desired. The system is perfect for upgrading because it's on the AM4 platform, which includes a lot of solid CPU upgrades, and then it also has a standard MATX case with a standard ATX power supply. With a lot of Dell and HP pre-builts, you can run into issues with proprietary power supplies, cases, motherboards that can make upgrading challenging. For the specific parts, we have an Asus Prime B450 motherboard, a Corsair CX430 power supply, a 16GB kit of Corsair branded DDR4 RAM, and then this plain black Antec case. For the CPU, I'll be upgrading from this 3200G. I'll probably be keeping this on hand for motherboard testing or for use when updating the BIOS of older motherboards. For the new CPU, I was able to pick up this Ryzen 5 5600X for $50 from Facebook Marketplace. The seller listed it for $60 and then accepted my offer of $50. If you don't feel like deal hunting, you can get a Ryzen 5 5600 for about $20 more on AliExpress, or if you want to keep it around the same price, a Ryzen 5 3600 for about $50 also on AliExpress. For the storage, I also added this 500GB T-Force Team Group SSD. The only other thing that we really need to upgrade in this is the GPU, and for the GPU, I'll be using this GTX 1660 Super. I got this a while back for about $70 on Facebook Marketplace. I see these cards pop up pretty often for around that price. I also see GTX 1070s pop up for similar prices, and those perform about the same as 1660 Supers, so that could be a good alternative if you're looking to build something similar. Usually upgrading a system like this isn't too difficult. It's just a matter of replacing the CPU and then installing the GPU. In my case, while I was trying to install the CPU, as soon as I took off the CPU cooler, the backplate of the CPU cooler fell out and fell behind the motherboard, which made things a little bit difficult. So I ended up having to remove the whole motherboard to get the new CPU installed and reinstall the CPU cooler. Not too much of a hassle, but I was hoping that it would be a little simpler. After getting that new CPU installed, I next slotted in the GPU, secured it in place, made sure to plug in the power cables to the GPU, and then we were up and running. Maybe it's because I tested the gaming performance of the Ryzen 3 3200G most recently, but this new upgraded system compared to that flies. It's way faster. Let's go ahead and jump in some gaming tests to get a feel for it.
Consider that a critical observation.
After buying a cheap system and spending an additional $150 to upgrade it, you have a very competent and affordable gaming PC that still has room for more upgrades. It can play relatively modern single player games at 60 FPS, but also in games like Fortnite and Overwatch, you can get over 200 FPS pretty easy, which again I think is pretty good for a $250 budget. Let me know if you were to continue to make upgrades to the system, what kind of things would you upgrade? Because I'm thinking about upgrading it one more time. Anyways, thanks for tuning in and have a great day.